Really quickly, I gotta give a shout out to my sponsor SeatGeek. If you guys are planning on going to any games or events this year, just use the app SeatGeek. I know I'm trying to go to a few NFL games this year, so I'm definitely using it. SeatGeek is an app that puts tickets from all over the web in a single place, making the whole buying experience simple. They rate these deals on a scale of 1 to 100, with the higher the number, the better the deal. And if you use my promo code KTO, you will get $20 off your first purchase. So I'm going to drop the link in the description. Honestly, you might as well just get the app just in case. You don't want to lose out on cheap tickets. In the late 1990s, Virginia high school football had some major hype. In the Peninsula District, Michael Vick was terrorizing opponents. He was a sensation, and as one of the highest rated quarterbacks in the entire country, he clearly had a bright future in football. But from his very own district, he wasn't even the most sought after quarterback. He was ranked number 2, and to some, there was no debate. Ronald Curry was better. Nowadays, everyone knows Michael Vick. He was a polarizing quarterback for years. Yet, you can't say the same thing about Ronald Curry. There's an argument to be made that Ronald Curry is the greatest high school athlete of all time. And I know that putting his name up there with guys like LeBron and Allen Iverson is crazy. But listen to this. In 1996, Ronald Curry was named as the nation's #1 quarterback, becoming the first junior ever to receive that honor. His high school outscored opponents by an average score of 55-6. And going into their state championship game, they played against the undefeated Patrick Henry High School. To put it simply, Curry was dominant and led them to a 51-0 victory. He also ended the season averaging 5.5 touchdowns a game. And then in his senior year, he would go on to win his 3rd state championship in a row. And on top of that, he was a dominant basketball player. He would be named National Player of the Year in both football and basketball, which is just insanity to think about. And multiple reports came in saying that Curry was going to play basketball and football for his hometown team, the University of Virginia. This was everything that Virginia fans could ever dream of. Ronald Curry played in the McDonald's All American game, in a game that featured Mike Miller, Rashard Lewis, Tayshaun Prince, and Corey Maggette, all future NBA players. Ronald Curry would go on to win the game's MVP, which puts him in the same company as guys like KG, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. And along with that, Curry competed in the event's dunk contest.
6'2", 200-pound guard. Oh yeah, a little reverse power jam.
By the way, he won that too. Yeah, this dude was a freak. With his college career approaching, the hype was building throughout the entire state for him and Michael Vick. The former high school rivalry was going to continue into college and could possibly become the greatest in-state rivalry in Virginia football history. Then that all changed. Everything went drastically different.
Basketball was always Ronald's first love, and he wanted to play in the ACC, and the lure of Dean Smith in North Carolina was too much.
Ronald Curry would later explain his decision. Quote, "It came down to me wanting to be able to compete at the highest level on the football field and on the basketball court. In football, the two schools are comparable, but North Carolina basketball speaks for itself." He felt he could make both the NBA and the NFL. Based on what he did in high school, I don't blame him. But in the end, this decision would come to haunt him. For his career in basketball, he was teammates with future NFL star Julius Peppers, and they had their moments on the court.
He has it knocked away, got it back, showing you that speed. And Watkins chases it down, and the Pitt State Nittany Lions are heading to the Sweet 16. It was all about the Nittany Lions.
as a 2-seed, North Carolina would be upset by Penn State, ending their year in disappointment, which is much like Ronald Curry's basketball career. After averaging less than 5 points a game during his 2 seasons he played, his dreams of the NBA were gone. All he had left was football. He showed flashes in football. By his junior season, he was a mid-level ACC quarterback. Nothing spectacular, but still decent. Meanwhile, at Virginia Tech, Michael Vick had become a perennial superstar. After leading the Hokies to a national title appearance, he was getting magazine covers, all the publicity you could ask for, and was the projected #1 overall pick. Ronald Curry was nowhere near that. His quarterback skill set didn't interest NFL scouts the way that Michael Vick's did, and just based on Curry's athleticism, he was considered a late-round pick at best. The once high school player of the year in football and basketball was less than average on the court, and didn't live up to expectations on the field. Many speculate that if he would have went to Virginia, things would have been different. At UNC, he had 3 different offensive coordinators, in which none of them seemed to use him effectively. Maybe at Virginia, the coach could have harnessed his incredible athleticism, and his career could have been on a completely different path. In the 2002 NFL Draft, his North Carolina teammate Julius Peppers would go 2nd overall, and the year before, Michael Vick went 1st overall. And for Ronald Curry, in the 7th round, Al Davis made a classic Al Davis move, and pretty much picked him on his athleticism alone. His quarterback career didn't last long at all, and so he was forced to quickly make the transition to wide receiver. Later on though, he proved that elite athleticism can work at different positions in the NFL. After finishing the 2004 season with just over 600 yards and 6 touchdowns, he would go on to be a reasonably decent 2nd or 3rd option for another few seasons. The once high school multi-sport megastar, who had dreams of playing in both the NBA as a guard and in the NFL as a quarterback, was forced to settle for a career that for him would be considered quite disappointing. But for the average player, that would be an unbelievable story to tell. You never play wide receiver in high school or college, then carve out a decent career in the pros. Just watch. Not many former quarterbacks are going to make plays like this.
Collins to the back of the end zone. Curry